So stick around.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Coming up on UCF Nightly News. We're about to tell you about a UCF prank gone wrong and how a professor reacted to the situation.
Plus, voting for the SGA presidential election starts Monday. Learn about each candidate's platform.
In sports, see how the UCF women's basketball team is preparing for their conference championship tournament. Good afternoon and welcome to UCF Nightly News. I'm Beth Brewster.
And I'm Brianna Jones. Today is Friday, March 2nd, 2018.
A suspicious incident. A suspicious incident on Wednesday stopped class in Business Administration 1. UCF police say a suspect walked into a class, threw a white powder in the air, and ran out. Nightly News has a new document that suggests it might be a member of a UCF fraternity.
UCF PD's official report on the incident is still in progress. Nightly News has a document that shows the act might be part of a hazing ritual by UCF fraternity Sigma Pi. Nightly News went to the Sigma Pi house.
Hi, we're with UCF Nightly News. We were wondering if you had any comment. We have some sources saying that the Sigma Pi member.
They refused to comment. A representative from Sigma Pi's national chapter says the fraternity is looking into the investigation. The national chapter says they officially cannot confirm or deny Sigma Pi's involvement. The UCF police say the suspect in the incident wore a Miami Heat jersey. They also confirmed the white substance thrown in the class is baby powder. UCF PD has not yet released the names of the two people involved. Brittany Wells, a professor at UCF, has class in BA1, which she had to cancel. She says her first priority was making sure her students were safe.
Our students need to feel safe on campus, and, resources, time, people's mental health was probably impacted by what happened yesterday. And even coming back today, granted, they figured out what the incident was. Throughout the entire day, we had no idea what was happening.
Wells says she hopes the two males involved are punished appropriately. Nightly News reached out to the Office of Student Conduct for a comment on how the students will be handled. We are still waiting on a response. Reporting in Orlando, Alex Bozargian, UCF Nightly News.
The investigation is ongoing. We will keep you updated with further information.
The UCF SGA presidential election is right around the corner. Reporter Natalia Carreño is going to give us an inside look at all the candidates' platforms.
Natalia, can you tell us what the candidates have to offer UCF students?
First, we have Karen and Teresa. The two are the first pair of women to run for president and vice president. Reporter Anna Johnson met with them to find out more about why they are running.
Karen Cadieux and Teresa Tong are making history. They're the first all-female president and vice president to run for SGA office.
Women in general, regardless of color, come up to us and just say, like, hey, regardless what happens, like,
we're so proud of you guys.
Karen and Teresa's platform points range from student safety to sustainability. They say they're focusing on fixing the issues that usually get overlooked. Right now, Karen is vice chair of the Student Body Advocacy Committee. Teresa is deputy pro tempore of legislative affairs, which means she's met lots of students during her time in SGA. She's excited to help all different types of people.
I see so many different issues. I can't fully understand them, and I know that, but I know that these issues are out there.
Karen says she understands how it feels to be a minority. She's a DACA recipient. She says the repeal of DACA is what inspired her to fight for other underrepresented groups.
I want students here at the university to know that they're going to be electing someone who's going to stand with them regardless of any barrier or anything that comes their way, you know. As they move forward in their campaign, Karen wants every other woman on campus to know she can run too. We have to remember that we don't have to do this like men do, and we can be ourselves and we can do whatever we want. You can find all of Karen and Teresa's platform on their website. In Orlando, Anna Johnson, UCF Nightly News.
Karen and Teresa say they're wearing cultural wear in this official campaign photo because they're living in their diversity instead of just celebrating it. Their official slogan is Ignite Your Possibilities. We now highlight our next candidates, Brad and Breon. I talked to Brad and Breon about what the future for UCF would hold if elected.
Collectively, Brad Kuehler and Breon Clark have been involved in 15 different departments on campus.
They believe this is one aspect that sets them apart from the other candidates. But Brad serving as SGA's chief of staff is what they believe is their biggest advantage in the election.
Being in the executive branch, being the chief of staff, I've worked very closely with the student body president, and I manage the internal operations of cabinet. So for me, there wouldn't be any transitionary moment. The moment I would get in, I could start working because I've been able to be so close with Nick.
Current SGA President Nick Larkin says there is only one person who is even remotely qualified to be the next president, because there is only one person running who truly knows what it's like to be the president. Brad says he was moved by Larkin's words.
I was really honored to be endorsed, and all the nice things he said about me in that post was really cool.
The three major points in Brad and Breon's platform are parking, student safety, and involvement. Their extensive platform includes over 100 points. If elected, they are confident they can put their ideas into effect.
We can sit here and preach about what we plan to bring to this university, but we have a course of action. We know what we want to accomplish, and we know how to do it.
Brad says running with Breon was an easy choice. The two have known each other since they were 9 years old.
And I think having that relationship maintained throughout the years has allowed us to be in this position because we understand one another.
The two believe their passion for UCF is what drives them to want the best for the university.
That's what it's all about, being the president and vice president, having a balance, having some trust with one another, and being able to accomplish things for this university, because it's not about us, it's about UCF.
Brad and Breon's campaign slogan is a new era. For a more in-depth look at Brad and Breon's platform, visit www.bradandbreon.com. The two are open to platform point suggestions. You can send those their way on their website as well. Josh and Jad are running for their second consecutive year. They feel that running again gives them a new perspective and more confidence. Reporter Maya Dowdy met with the pair to discuss their platform and what makes them stand out as candidates.
With a campaign under their belt, Josh Bolona and Jad Shalab feel confident to take on the president and vice president positions of SGA. Jad feels that last year's run prepared them for this year's campaign.
Now that we have had last year in the past and we've had all these perspectives marinate and we've had time to reflect on them and discuss them and take them all into consideration, I feel like this year when we're coming into it, like we are truly ready.
Josh, who is currently the SGA Speaker of the Senate, feels like it is his duty to serve UCF.
As you find yourself more and more, you realize that the talents you have or who you are, you have to serve others with.
For Jad, their ticket formed naturally from having the same values and strengths.
We have this ability to lead with purpose, to maintain our values even in tough situations, and that's how we gravitated towards each other.
Their platform is split into 3 categories, including values, initiatives, and promises. They say that they pride this election on pursuing tangible needs and not giving the student body false promises.
Every platform point that we have on our platform is just based off of something we think is within our control, something that we think will benefit the student body.
The pair hope to use their platform to create a more open relationship between SGA and the student body. Josh believes he and Jad are the most qualified to take on these major roles at UCF.
We truly and confidently believe with our diversity in the background, with the experience we've served on campus, with our engineering mindset, we truly are the best people on this campus to serve the position.
Reporting from Orlando, Maya Dowdy, UCF Nightly News.
Josh and Jad have been endorsed by Juntos UCF. Their campaign slogan is "A New Beginning." Voting will start this Monday and will end Wednesday. Students can vote online or at on-campus booths. We will keep you updated on the results of the election. Back to you at the desk, Beth and Brianna.
Coming up after the break, it's National Eating Disorder Week. Hear from a UCF student who uses social media to overcome her eating disorder.
Plus, find out how the UCF men's basketball team fared against number 11 Wichita State last night.
It's National Eating Disorders Awareness Week. UCF is one of several colleges hosting events during the week to help those struggling. UCF Nightly News spoke with students to find out how eating disorders can be impacted by social media. 82% of women feel the beauty standards set by social media are unrealistic, according to the Speak Beautiful Dove study.
If they can do it, why can't I get that thin as well?
UCF student Maria Oliveira says social media led her to a community of those struggling with eating disorders.
Around the age of 11, my dad was like, hey, if you keep not eating, you're going to become anorexic. So me being the idiot I am, I Googled what it was, saw some YouTube videos, and I was like, I feel like this is the community I belong in, sort of. So I was like, oh, if I don't eat, I would actually get more friends.
If you scroll through social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, you'll find pictures of the ideal body type and quotes that promote being thin.
Eyes on the prize.
UCF student and fitness teacher Swaran Nandini says she uses her social media and classes to inspire people.
It will always be about self-acceptance. Before we can be successful, before we can be, I don't know, CEOs, presidents, super athletes, we have to be accepting of our body.
Experience Simmons' social media report states 98% of college-age people use social media. But Renfrew Center's Utilization Review Coordinator, Jackie Tanner Bradfield, says that isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I think it's really all about curating your feed, which basically means being aware of who you follow. So following people that are encouraging you to be your true, authentic self.
Bradfield says those struggling should limit their social media time and use it as a means to connect, not compare. If you are struggling with an eating disorder, call Counseling and Psychological Services at UCF at 407-823-2811. Coming up, see which UCF football players are headed to the NFL Combine this weekend.
Plus, Alex will tell us what the weather is looking like this weekend. Democrats introduced the assault weapons ban of 2018 earlier this week. This change has some members of the community worried about how this threatens their rights to bear arms. Nightly News reporter Jane Kim spoke with UCF Gun Club members to see how this ban affects them.
The NRA calls the AR-15 the most popular rifle in America and estimates that Americans own more than 8 million weapons of this style. Recent mass shootings have left the AR-15 with a bad reputation. But UCF Gun Club President Michael Garro says these rifles are not the problem.
They've been in civilian hands for a very long time, and it's only very, very recent that we're starting to see more, school shootings, mass shootings, that kind of thing is becoming a problem.
Club members also stress that the ban on assault rifles violates the Second Amendment.
Your feelings and your beliefs about firearms don't, trump my right to protect myself.
Military veteran Walter Napier grew up around these types of weapons and says rifles are best kept in the hands of those who are trained to handle them.
The people that are getting a hold of them haven't gone through these trainings, and so that again is the problem, is that most people didn't grow up the way I did, and most people didn't serve in the military.
Napier says the issue right now is the battle between liberty and security.
It's either I'm so pro-Second Amendment that I don't care, or it's I'm so anti-Second Amendment that I want to remove it tomorrow.
Napier says there is no middle ground, but taking weapons out of the wrong hands is something we can all agree on, and is the first step in solving this gun problem. Reporting from Orlando, Jane Kim, UCF Nightly News.
Large companies like Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart have already begun their ban on assault rifles. Bass Pro Shops is the only major retailer still selling these weapons. I heard we're having a cold front coming up this week.
I heard the same thing. Alex, can you tell us what we have in store for the next few days?
Well, Breon and Beth, you're right. Temperatures will cool down starting tonight, but right now it's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. There's a little bit of wind coming in from the northeast, and there is 68% humidity in the air, but luckily a 0% chance of rain, so forget those umbrellas. It has been a lot cooler than what we've seen in the past few days. Yesterday, we reached a high of 90 degrees, which is unseasonably warm for this time of year. So now let's take a look at our neighbors across the state. For our highs, we have a 72 degrees in Tallahassee, our capital. We have 75 degrees in Jacksonville, and go Jaguars. We have a 79 degrees in Tampa and 85 degrees in Miami, and 79 degrees here in Orlando. Now for our lows. It will be 44 degrees in Tallahassee, 49 degrees in Jacksonville, 53 degrees in Tampa, and 52 degrees in Orlando, and 67 degrees in Miami. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Our Saturday will start with a high of 73 and a low of 48 degrees. Sunday, there will be a high of 71 degrees and a low of 50. Monday will start out mostly sunny with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 52 degrees. Tuesday, temperatures will rise and we will have a high of 77 and a low of 56 degrees with a 20% chance of rain. And for Wednesday, expect it to be sunny with a high near 73 degrees and a low around 48 degrees. So it has been a lot colder today than it was the past few days. It seems that we kind of skipped over spring and went right into summer, but you don't have to worry about that because we are going to have a nice spring weekend. It will be mild, so make sure to do those activities that you wouldn't do normally if it's 90 degrees out and very hot. Make sure to bring a light sweater. And that's all we have for weather today. Back to you, Beth and Brianna.
The UCF baseball team plays tonight. The team is ranked 23rd and has won their past 4 games. See how the Knights are keeping their winning streak alive.
Good afternoon, UCF Knights. I'm Princess Jeanne Steverson-Lowry with your nightly news sports update. The NFL's annual scouting combine began yesterday and will run through March 5th. The Knights have 4 players attending in hopes of being eligible to play in the 2018 NFL Draft. The group will include receiver Traquan Smith, defensive back Mike Hughes, tight end Jordan Akins, and linebacker Shaquem Griffin. The 2018 draft begins April 26th. CBS Sports has mock drafts predicting Hughes will be drafted in the first round to the New England Patriots. Griffin will look to follow the footsteps of his older brother Shaquille, who was drafted last year in the 3rd round pick against the Seattle Seahawks. This year's draft will be April 28th. 2 seniors on UCF's women's basketball team played their last regular home game season at the CFE Arena. Nightly News went to the court to take a closer look at Zakiya Saunders and Aaliyah Gregory's UCF careers.
2 seniors who have played their final regular season game at the CFE Arena. One is the team's leading scorer. The other is 6th on the UCF all-time scoring list. Aaliyah Gregory plays her last home game as the 22nd member to reach the 1,000-point club.
My time at UCF has been amazing, highs and lows, but I think I've grown from it all. But and just the opportunity that I have here is unmatched. I don't think I would take this back if I could. It's the best decision I've ever made to come to UCF.
Zakiya Saunders finished her first and only regular season as a Knight, averaging a team-high 16 points per game.
My teammates are great. I've been around the coaches for a while, so they're the same, but the community itself is just, they're amazing. Everybody's inviting and warm, and they make you feel like you're at home.
Both have different journeys to becoming a Knight. Saunders transferred from UAlbany her senior season. She had to redshirt last year and became a redshirt senior this season. Gregory came to UCF and finished as the team's 2nd leading scorer as a freshman. As seniors, both though took on a leadership role.
Their leadership skills, they're our captains. They were voted captains for a reason. They're 2 of our hardest workers on the floor every single day.
The success on the court for these 2 is important, but being able to do it as a Knight?
Just to be able to come to a university like this, not just the basketball aspect of it, but to come to a university like this, I think that it's a great thing. It's an honor, and I'm glad that I'll be able to leave a UCF Knight.
Is what makes it all so special.
To finish off as a Knight is really exciting. Everything that being a Knight means is just, I don't even know words can't even explain it, but I'm really excited to be here.
Reporting in Orlando, Jimmy Calhoun, UCF Nightly News.
Both Zakiya and Aaliyah were honored on Monday at Senior Night. The UCF women's basketball team's next home game will be on Sunday at the AAC Championship Tournament. Last night, the Knights lost their 2nd game of the season against Wichita State. It was a score of 75-71. Although the men lost, it was a close game that went into overtime. Key players of the night went to redshirt senior A.J. Davis and redshirt junior B.J. Taylor, both playing at heights in their career. Davis scored his 8th double-double of the season with 28 points, and Taylor shooting back-to-back buckets. Head coach Johnny Dawkins says the game was a tough loss, but the boys showed they came to play. The UCF baseball team is gearing up to play their 2nd weekend series against the Wagner Seahawks. The Knights hope to take home their 5th W as they are currently on a 4-game winning streak. They defeated the number 23 Bethune-Cookman in Daytona Beach this past Tuesday. In that game, the Knights shined as their right-hand pitcher, J.J. Montgomery, went nearly 6 innings and gave up only 1 hit. Head coach Greg Lovelady says he thought it was the best game they've played all year. The first pitch against the Seahawks is scheduled tonight at 6:30. I'm sorry, Knights, but that's all the time we have for sports today. Back to you, Breon and Beth.
Thanks, Princess Jeanne. That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our YouTube channel, UCF Nightly News.
And if you got a story that you want us to know about, send it our way. Thanks for watching and have a good day.